Hey everyone, it's Jay from Plot Leakage, and Sony have just released the first 8 minutes to their brand new film, Kraven the Hunter. This is something that Sony has done before, where they'll release the intro to one of their movies, but they normally wait until the film is being released on digital. I think it's unheard of for them to release the intro 8 minutes of a film before its theatrical release. I don't think Sony have done this before. They have released intros, but they'll usually wait until the movie's already been out and it's coming on digital. So to do it before the film has even hit cinemas, before the film's even released, it seems like it is a desperate attempt to get more ticket sales, to get more people interested in this movie. That being said, I think all things considered, it is a decent 8 minutes. It looks okay. Some might say generic, but my personal review is that it already looks to be a better film than Madam Web, which personally I did not like. I thought Madam Web was pretty bad, to be honest. I didn't even finish the movie because I got bored. It's a shame the film could have used more Spider Woman, but I think that there's a legal reason why Sony can't do too much Spider Woman stuff. Believe it or not, I think it will conflict with Tom Holland's Spider Man stuff. I think Sony isn't allowed to do a full blown Spider Man slash woman movie, which is the reason why they haven't yet. Because that's the obvious choice. Why do a cinematic universe about Spider Man or at least Spider Woman? I don't think they legally can. I think whenever they agreed to give Spider Man to the MCU, they agreed that they wouldn't create competing live action movies. That means no Spider Woman movie and no different Spider Man film. Like, I have my doubts that we'll get Amazing Spider Man 3. I know a lot of people want it. I doubt we'll get it because Amazing Spider Man 3 will compete with Tom Holland's Spider Man. It's not in Sony's best interest to make two films that compete. Realistically, a lot of people will only go and watch one live action Spider Man movie. They're not going to go watch both. I'm talking general audience. I know you, as a hardcore fan watching this video, you'll watch every Spider Man movie, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense to have Amazing Spider Man 3 come out the same year as Tom Holland's Spider Man 4 or 5 and then do Tobey Maguire. Doesn't make sense. So yeah, Sony probably can't do a Spider-Woman movie or a Spider-Man film because it would compete with Tom Holland. They can do animated Miles Morales stuff because that's animated, it's different. They can do spin-off characters, but I'm not expecting Amazing Spider-Man 3. I'm not expecting Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire. The most we're going to get from those guys will be MCU films such as the next Spider-Man film, Avengers Doomsday, Secret Wars. That's when we'll see those guys next. Maybe in the far future, but not anytime soon, in my opinion. Sorry for the bad news. I'd love for it to happen, but I don't think it makes much sense legally. Back to Craven. They've released the first 8 minutes. I think it looks okay. I think the film will be better than Madam Web, which is not saying much. Better than Morbius, which is not saying much. Will it be better than Venom 2 or 3? I doubt it will be better than Venom 1, but it could be better than Venom 2 or 3. I think Craven will be an okay film. I think it will be mid at worst. It might even be a bit good. At best, it might just be a bit like generic, maybe. But I'm gonna go watch it. I give Sony, 3 strikes. Morbius was strike one. Madam Web was strike two. Craven could either be strike three, and I give up on Sony when it comes to live action, or it could restore my faith. Granted, I'm pretty sure Sony is not going to do any more of these spin off films in this universe after Kraven. There's no new film announced. There's no post end credit scene to Kraven. Spoiler alert. There's no post end credit scene in Kraven. There's no Spider Man references. Let me just say spoilers for the film, by the way, or at least the first 8 minutes. But I don't think it actually is a spoiler to say that there's no post end credit scene. There's no Spider Man connection in Kraven. It's a self contained gangster hunter action 18 rated film that is either going to be generic or actually kind of cool and interesting. We do get some comic book characters, so there will be a few Easter eggs. We have obviously the man himself, Craven. We have his love hate interest, Calypso, who also has animal like powers, and I'm sure we'll get her origin in the movie. We have Craven's brother, the chameleon, who can disguise himself as anyone. Not sure how they'll portray that in the movie, but I hope it's done well. In the MCU films, Black Widow had technology that could change her face, so maybe they'll do technology. Last but not least, we have obviously Craven's dad is like Craven Senior. Last but not least, though, we have the Rhino, who is going to be more of an animalistic natural rhino, kind of like the Incredible Hulk. He turns into a rhino, so it's not like a suit like in the comics. That's fine. It looks cool enough in the trailers. He seems to be the main villain. Guys, I hope the movie is good. I don't think it'll be great. I mean, I'll come back and make a new video if it's great, but I hope it's just not terrible. Like, at least be mid, you know? Because Madam Web and Morbius, they were worse than mid. They were bad, you know? I think Venom 2 was average, pardon me. And I liked Venom 3, but I don't think it was much better. So fingers crossed, Kraven is a good movie. It will probably suck, but I think it will be around the 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, maybe even a 6 out of 10 range. The first 8 minutes look cool. Generic, but cool. We see Kraven being transported to a Russian prison. One of the prisoners goes to pee. Kraven swaps him out, puts on a fake tattoo, goes into prison, meets his roommate, says he won't be there very long, causes trouble, goes to work out, gets in a fight. He already has his super strength by the intro, so I know we'll get a flashback because we do see young Kraven in the trailers. He gets his powers. Is it going to be a radioactive lion? I think they've changed that, so it's some kind of magic remedy that he gets that gives him his powers. I think the movie will have a supernatural vibe, but his powers do look cool. He's jumping around, he's climbing, he's got super strength, super reflexes, super speed. It looks pretty cool. And Aaron Taylor-Johnson finally learned how to dodge a bullet. Bet you didn't see that one coming. The movie's going to make Kraven $1 million. It's going to be amazing. After Kraven does what he does, where he beats up the prisoners, he goes and encounters the big boss, the one that he came to hunt. And we see that the whole reason he's come to this Russian prison is to kill this one dude. And he does it in glorious fashion. Movie's very gory. He then escapes and then runs away to a plane, which my guess is Calypso is his teammate who is flying the plane and who helps him hunt bad guys. The rumors about Kraven hunting animal hurters and him being like, oh, killing people that kill animals, that seems to be fake news. It looks like he just hunts bad guys, but that would make him a straight superhero. Kraven is supposed to be a supervillain. He's not even an anti-hero, and they're not going the anti-hero route. He's literally a superhero. He just kills. But there are superheroes that kill. Captain America's killed people. So, I don't know, man. I mean, it doesn't look like Kraven kills any of the police officers. So, he has a code. He's not killing innocent people. He's just going to be a superhero. And that's why this movie runs the risk of being generic. I could go into detail about what the plot leak is, but it doesn't sound very interesting. I hope they change it. I hope the movie ends up being different. But my understanding of the plot is that you have Kraven's brother like betraying him, and you have his Kraven's dad is a dick, and it doesn't sound that interesting. I could sit here and tell you the plot. It doesn't sound very interesting. I hope it looks better than it sounds. We will find out this month. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.